Hello, I am Firestorm Carnage, head of EOT, and I have a squeaky computer chair. Right, so this is for a just about bounty, but it's actually a question that will help a lot of people um, within the EVE Online community. And if you don't know what just about is, justabout.com is a website where you can play EVE and actually earn real life money. And it's all above board, they're in partnership with CCP, etc. So head on over there and you'll be able to do cool things whilst earning money whilst playing the game. So, explain corp and alliances. So corporation alliances. Question one is, what are corps and alliances? Well, that's a loaded question. Um, Corporations are a group of people that work under a CEO, who is the leader, directors who help direct the corporation and handle day-to-day business, with officers who essentially handle the lower tasks, and then of course you have the members underneath. And corporations are a group of pilots that are essentially just working together to further their common goals. Alliances. Alliances are a collection of corporations working underneath one banner. Um, Essentially, a leader of the alliance will direct the CEOs of the corporations as to where he wants them, how he wants them to operate, etc. Which is not always the case. Sometimes alliances just exist for people to do things, etc. There's not always a set direct goal, but that's the general gist of an alliance. Question two is, how do they relate to one another? Well, the truth of the fact of the matter is that they don't. Unless corporations are in alliances, most corporations tend to work as a solo nature. Basically, as this is our corporation, this is what we do. We don't interact with other corporations unless we need to. And we certainly don't interact with alliances unless we need to, unless it's for things like nullsec access or wormhole or low security access. Other than that, they don't really relate to one another. They're two very separate entities that genuinely don't tend to share the same goals. Question three, how big are they? Corporation alliances can grow to any size they choose. It all comes down to skills. And as much with EVE Online, generally speaking, you have skills such as megacorp management, empire management, and it also all boils down to recruitment practices as well. A corporation can become huge, but can quickly become unmanageable, untenable if the CEO and the directors don't have clear goals and don't have things that members can do. A corporation with 1,000 members in just doing their own thing is completely pointless. You need to have goals and things like that. And it's the same with alliances. Alliances can grow into the thousands. The more corporations they recruit, the numbers grow. The more the corporations recruit people, the more the alliance grows. And again, it's down to direction, making sure that they run. How are they run? Well, that's basically an answer to the question that we've just done. But corporations run on simple goals: recruitment, organization, and essentially a goal that the corp can follow. So if it's an industry corporation, then it is, we need miners for this. If it's a PvP corporation, we need pilots that can fly these things, or we need people that can come and PvP with us. Alliances are essentially more of the same thing. It goes down to direction, goals, recruitment of corporations. If you're taking space, then certain corporations in null security space will have different systems that they work out of. It's sort of a big security net. The more space you have, the more corporations you need, the more members you need, because you need a bigger defense force. So generally, everything is run purely in a directional point of view and an organizational point of view. How do you join them? Joining a corporation, excuse me, it's simple. Top left of your screen, Neocom, social, corporations. And in there, you can find corporations that sort of match your play style, or you can go to like the EU Online forums and go to the recruitment section and see what's there. And it's kind of the same thing for alliances for CEOs. CEOs will look for, when they grow to a certain level, they'll look for a point of, okay, where do I want to take my corporation next? Is this what the members want? Okay, then most of the members want to be part of a null security alliance because they want access to that space to PvP in larger fleets. They want riches in terms of the anomalies out there that you can make hundreds of millions of ISK a day, exploration, that sort of thing. So they have to go and do the same sort of thing. They have to go to the Neocom, go to the alliances, see what alliances are about, or they go to the forums and they check there. Well, a lot of the bigger alliances generally are fairly well known. What happens once you've joined them? When you join a corporation, generally speaking, they'll have a HQ. And the same can be said for alliances. They generally all tend to have a high set point where they operate out of. If they're a low security alliance, they'll have a low security point. If they have a wormhole alliance, they'll have a wormhole that they live and operate in. And if they're nullsec, then obviously they'll have a nullsec home. And generally, some corporations and alliances are very military based. We're doing this is what is expected of you. Other corporations are, we have operations on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Sunday. We'd like you to join them, but you don't have to. We have tax rates, so if you're running around doing missions or ratting, we're still getting money out of you, so you're still quite a valuable member because tax is kind of important. A kind of gist of that is basically that it all depends what the corporation is, what the alliance is, what the goals are, and what they actually do expect. And it changes from corp to corp, alliance to alliance. So that's not, you can't really give a blanket answer to that question. What are your responsibilities once you join them? Trustworthiness. Your corporations, your members are people that you trust your safety with within the game. And it also can be said the same for alliances. And it's about teamwork. EVE Online in groups is about teamwork. Sorry, I've got a really sore throat at the moment. And essentially speaking, you need to be a part of that team. If you're a solo player, there's no point joining a corporation or alliance. There is 0 point. You just stick to yourself and carry on. But if you're wanting to take part in the things that you see in the news and stuff like that, of like huge battles and fleets and huge mining fleets and all that sort of thing, when you join, that's your responsibility, is to take part in everything, to be a good team player, to make sure that you know what is expected of you. And they would, generally speaking, they will have like points within their own forums or their Discord, etc., which will tell you what's expected of you. So, what are corp's goals and missions? A corp goal can be something like, say, if it's an industry corporation, we want to build 10 cruisers a week to sell off to increase the corp wallet. So we need to mine this amount of materials per week. That's what we need to do. If it's a PvP corp, their goals are, fleets per week, fleets in the evenings, generally speaking, and generally having fun. But the goals and missions, again, these are quite difficult questions because it changes from corp to alliance and from corp to corp, alliance to alliance. So they will have their own goals. Some are to take space, some are to roll wormholes, some are to terrorize people in low security space. So generally speaking, they will change per thing. Are there different types of corp or different types of alliances, and what are they? So you have PvP alliances, which exist to PvP. They are all about recruiting players that want to PvP and can support themselves. So that's one type. You have industry corporation alliances where they are about nothing more than industry, and that's what they want to do. And so it's all about the mining, it's all about the blueprints, it's all about the gas huffing, it's all about the production, PI, all of that sort of thing. Okay. And then you have wormhole alliances, and what they do is their job is to hold their wormhole and sometimes roll others, sometimes just to make as much money as possible for each of the members. There's a few wormhole corporations I know that their entire point of existence is just to make their members rich beyond their dreams, and then go out on PvP in ridiculously expensive fish ships, lose them, and then laugh when they all die. So generally speaking, the They're very, very different types of corps and alliances, but they all generally tend to operate around PvP and PvE. Joining a corporation is a serious thing. You don't join the first corporation you come across. Don't believe the mails that you get in game when you first join us. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. That's not how it works. It's got nothing to do with that. Learn the game first. Learn what it is you want to do. There are public fleets that you can take part in. There are public stealth fleets that you can take part in. Once you've got your gist of what you want to do with an EVE Online, that's when you start looking for a fleet, and then start looking for a corporation. Start looking at what corporations are in what alliances, what area of space. How is this going to benefit me? You need to make sure that your choices benefit you as a whole. There's no point you joining, say, for me personally, I would never join a corporation alliance that was in drone space. I can't think of a bigger waste of time. No real loot, no real escalations, and just drone AIs. That's all that really drops. It would be boring. So I would, if I was going to go back into alliances and nullsec, I would go south, very much south, delve that area. Just very good for making money. So choose carefully your corporations and alliances. I think that's probably just about it, really, for explaining corps and alliances. There's not really much else to talk about. So, yeah. Excellent. Justabout.com. Go and join, make money whilst playing EVE Online. And, of course, subscribe to the channel because I'm awesome.